Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. My name is Polly, and joining me this week, as always, is Inquisitor. Quiz. Woo, how are you doing?
I don't know how to respond to that, but I'm doing okay. How about you?
I know you love the ooh-woos, so I thought I'd greet you in kind, you know?
I will not be saying that because I don't want to blow my own head off. Thank you.
Quiz, you can admit that you're constantly typing ooh-woos over on Discord, and it's
I will
fine.
not admit that because that is not a thing that I will ever do, ever.
It's whatever, man. Just don't lie to the people. And rounding out our triumvirate of awesome is Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Jack, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm very sick.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, my throat's full blown and my chest is congested, and I'm medicated. So I don't think it's gonna be a terribly long comic book curation this eve. If you gentlemen are amiable to a shorter episode, that'd be.
We always say that, and we always go 2 hours. So
Yeah, well, when I was doing Noir Bar last night, I thought I was like, can I make it 90 minutes, man? My throat was on fire after a little short while. So, but I mean, the show must go on. You know what I'm talking about here? I mean, you can't just cancel shit. You show up, sick,
yeah.
bereaved, whatever the case. You do what you got to do. Wait, Quiz likes uwu? Yes, Jack Dunsky, that it's true. I don't know why he's ashamed. This is an uwu safe zone. It's fine.
What the hell is uwu?
just leave it alone, man. Don't ask. Don't ask. It's some weird shit that
People trying to be cute, and it's insufferable.
see. Quiz is just into some self-hatred at this point. It's a thing that Quiz and his fellow weebs do. It's fine. We accept it.
Oh, it's a
I'm
weeb.
not a weeb.
Uwu. God, that sounds annoying.
God. I'm cringing every time either one of you say it.
Ooh. I can't do the hyper high pitch sounding like a 5-year-old girl anime voice, you know? That's what really sells the ooh.
Well, no, you gotta do it all deep and sexy like ooh.
No, that sounds not sexy at all.
Well, that's the way it should be done from now on then.
Oh man.
It doesn't sound very sexy the other way either.
So anyway, comics.
So everybody, if you want to make friends with Quiz to close the subject out, just send some ooh stuff at him on Twitter. He'll appreciate
I've been
it.
fucking with another guy all day. I don't want people fucking with me. Stop it.
Mr. Jack Dunsky said, "Embrace your inner weeb, Quiz. Search your feelings. You know it to be true."
Nope.
I love it. Let's see here.
I don't do a weeb or a stairwares, so
you don't do stairwares.
No.
But we're gonna be. You don't. Oh, well, we're talking about a lot of the stairwares leaks that are going on this week.
It's not like I'm gonna watch it, so spoil it for me.
Oh man, Jack, you know, I'm talking about the excited way that I'm going into this new Star Wars film.
I know you think it might be good.
No, I think it's going to be awful. You haven't heard me say this? I am moving towards something that's never happened. Like, I've never been excited to go to a theater and pay money to see something that I think is going to be an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah, it's always irritating.
It's like a dumpster fire of like biological waste. That's what I'm expecting from the leaks. Like, it's just the two quotes that they were able to quote directly, like that Doomcock was able to get from the people that had actually attended the early test screenings, were confusing was one, and the other one was all over the place. Ouch. That's what the people you let watch your film said. Oh man.
Well, I mean, would any of us be surprised?
No.
Oh, hey, 6 minutes. How's it going?
Hey, 6. Look at all these wonderful ooh-woos in chat for you.
I'm not even looking at chat.
I like BG's hashtag, let's keep traumatizing Quiz.
In any case, yeah, we'll get into this stairwares thing and all of their various leaks. There is something that I wanted to cover first, And I found out about it first last night when Jack sent me a link through DMs. The legendary, brilliant writer of story editor, script editor, a universe caster of Star Trek, the inimitable DC Fontana, has passed away, and it's really sad. Actually, I'm a big Star Trek fan, as I've talked about before, and there are few people that have had as much of a hand in shaping Star Trek as DC Fontana. Dorothy Fontana wrote under the name DC. It's sad, man. That she passed it. She got up there, I guess, 80 years old. That's pretty far, but you know, it's still really sad. Like next to Gene Roddenberry, she probably had the biggest hand in making Star Trek what it is.
Yeah.
Actually wrote scripts for 3 different series, but was a script editor on the original series, which means she shaped every script that was handed to her, even if she wasn't the writer of it. It's like, well, this isn't correct. You know, maybe you should try this a little bit more. The amount of characters she created, the entire Vulcan mythos is her doing. Spock's parents, so Sarek of Vulcan, that's her. She created those characters. The list just goes on and on and on. Data and his search for humanity and everything. That's pure DC Fontana, man. It's sad. And what's equally sad is if we look over here, I'm not going to dwell on this idea, but I did want to point it out. We have, this is from People Magazine online as reported by MSN.com. And it's trailblazing Star Trek writer DC Fontana dies at 80. She was a pioneer. The only thing that they can do with this article is talk about how she's DeWammon.
And she was the first Whammon, and she is going to be the Whammon first Whammon.
But that's the way they play it off. And this is like, man, this is People, and you can tell they're a dying legacy enterprise. Enterprise at this point, because it's Fontana, who went professionally by DC, passed away, quote, peacefully on Monday after fighting a brief illness. The American Film Institute, where she was a senior lecturer, announced Tuesday in a press release obtained by People. Why are you using that language?
Obtained by People?
Well,
how was it obtained by People?
Well, that's what I mean. They make it. You use that kind of language in writing when you say secret court documents obtained by this author. Like, you know what I mean? Something you shouldn't have. Like, everyone got it. It's a fucking press release. They sent it out en masse to everyone. And when you read the article, they're just quoting the Siffy article. It's not even a standalone article. They have to quote sci-fi. Jesus. Siffy, yes. Thanks. And all they could say is like, oh, she wrote Yesteryear from the Star Trek animated series, which she absolutely did. And that's like what gave a lot of the background to Vulcan history and stuff. For a long time, it wasn't canon, but it was so influential. What other people wrote, they just consider it canon now. The list goes on. I go over here to the original Siffy article. DC Fontana, famed writer for Star Trek, dies at 80. And it's very short. At least it's got a little bit more detail, and it doesn't focus on she's DeWammon. It's like in the early 1960s and sexism. It's like, look, this is sad. Like, she's a legendary writer who got ahead because of talent, not because she was DeWammon. But that's all they can promote at this point. You want to know what DC Fontana, like, what she's worth? Go to Memory Alpha, the Star Trek wiki. Because it's just endless nerdery. I'm a fucking editor over there, for Christ's sake. It's Memory Alpha is the bomb, in short. And none of it's like the whammon. It's like, this is actually what she's worth. It just lists in unbelievable detail connections to interviews that she did, all of her various writing credits. Of course, they tell the story in the MSN or People article that, oh, she wrote under DC because it was non-gendered and had to do so under multiple other aliases as well. The other aliases that she wrote under for Next Generation and for Deep Space Nine, etc., that's why they don't give her credit, because people don't do the research to find out those were some of her nom de plume pen names, because either she wrote it and wasn't happy with the way it got developed after it left her hands, so she asked that it be written under another thing, under another pseudonym. That was mostly what had happened. She wrote a script, It was taken into development, and certain core elements changed and so on. They didn't even give her half the fucking credit she deserved for writing stuff. So go over to Memory Alpha if you want to see it. So anyway, I'm done complaining. It's just like, when greats like this pass away, modern shill media, all they can do is, now how can we use this to further our agenda? You know? It is sad. In any case, I'm going to go back and rescreen some of my favorite episodes. When people ask what's your favorite episode of the original series, I would say it depends on when you ask me. It's either Mirror Mirror or Journey to...
Mirror Mirror is great.
Oh, it so is. Or Journey to Babel. Because Journey to Babel is one of those episodes that's got so much story in it, you'd think it was like a 3-parter. It's like, nope, it's only a standard 45-minute episode. It's got so much stuff going on in it, and it's entirely penned by Fontana herself. It's fantastic. It's an outstanding episode. I'm going to go back and do a memorial screening of it. Godspeed, Miss Fontana. You were one of the greats. It's sad. It really is. And now we have like Alex Kurtzman telling us what Star Trek is. You know, Star Trek Discovery. I'll only write the series if we can make the captain a female. Yeah, they've already done that. You realize you're not breaking new ground, right, jerk ass?
I was gonna say, did he completely forget about fucking Voyager?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know. Alex Kurtzman? That guy's a fucking hack.
To be fair, we've all tried to forget about Voyager.
Man.
They often get it confused with On Golden Pond because it's got the same lead actress.
Man, if I hear another argument about Space Leopard or Sea Monkey, I'm going to have to drive home so that I can jump in front of that train.
Sea Monkey.
Space Leopard. You all right there, Quiz?
Come on. It's not my fault that Janeway was getting railed. And she's like, Chakotay, man!
Wait a minute. You've progressed from her being... Why am I wanting to call her Anne Hathaway? The On Golden Pond granny. What's her name? I know, that's totally not her name, but what's the On Golden Pond granny's name?
Katharine Hepburn.
Katharine Hepburn. Yeah. So now you're starting to have like Jack Cannon mental fantasies of Katharine Hepburn getting nailed.
Hey, I'll rewrite that show however I want in my head.
I mean,
and I guarantee you it'll be 80% better than what they did on film.
Well, you should hear. Okay, my Voyager fantasies involve B'Elanna Torres and 7 of 9 in a lewd interlude. Why are you coming up with granny sex?
Dude, okay. There's been plenty of Rule 34 about Star Trek. None of it is appealing, man.
No, it's
just
really
weird. Not. They're trying for like deep fakes and shit. Fuck that.
What are you talking about? What? There's deep fakes in Star Trek sex?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of Star Trek deep fake porn.
Hold on, let me just
tons of it.
Make a note here. I'll be looking into that later.
4chan. That's where I see all of it.
You know, you want to read some really funny, not Rule 34, just actual creepy degenerate sex related to Star Trek. Go read the leaked stuff from Jerry Ryan's divorce settlement.
Oh yeah, that was hot. I mean, disturbing.
I have no idea what any of that means.
You know Jerry Ryan, the actress who played 7 and 9.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so and like Jerry Ryan, she's like this tall, stacked blonde. I mean, holy fuck,
yeah.
right?
She's hot.
Yeah,
she's hot. I like 7 of 9.
Big old titties, tiny little waist, shapely ass, the whole 9 yards, right? Her ex-husband was apparently like a degenerate fuck and like took her like to sex clubs and all sorts of shit. And in in the divorce proceedings, you know, you kind of spill all the tea, right? To kind of make the other person sound as bad as humanly possible.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's talking the business, man, and thought it was going to be sealed or whatever. Jack, do you remember how it got released? I don't remember.
I think her ex-husband released it.
Well, because he was running for office, wasn't he? And then like it kind of
my god.
Yeah, and it kind of ruined his chances to get it. So why would he be the one who leaked it?
Well, I think it was to get even with her for telling all the lurid details.
Yeah, it turns out I mean, and it's like he's a degenerate. What I'm reading there is that she's coming up with stories of stuff they did together and made it sound like it was his idea. That's what's like. What did he do? Put a gun to your head and make you go to the BDSM public sex club? I mean, did you not have to get into the strap-on sex swing yourself?
See, Jake Thompson knows that they were making deep fakes of Star Trek before deep fakes were a thing in the late 90s.
Yeah. Mustafa says that workout scene was something. Oh, the one where the Dr. Crusher and Counselor Troy are doing space yoga, and it looks suspiciously like scissoring.
Yeah, see, we can blame her divorce on why Obama got elected, because that's the seat that he filled.
So wait, Obama got into a strap sex swing?
No.
What?
He took the political seat that her ex-husband was trying to get.
Oh, in Illinois?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he became a state senator. The other person contending for that spot was Jerry Ryan's ex.
Oh.
So if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have had Obama. This is all her fault.
Damn it. Why are you such a lurid hoe? Should have kept your sex in the house. You know, you could order sex swings online, Jerry Ryan. You can just have them installed in your basement. You don't need to go to.
Well, I think the
creepo
point was
clubs.
to do it publicly.
Yeah, yeah. And didn't she say that she where she drew the line? And it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Is when you wanted to have actual public sex or something? I forget.
No, they were having public sex in that sex swing.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I found a smoking gun article. I'll throw in the chat for everybody who wants to read.
It's James Cawley, when you got to go through that much trouble to type monkey in chat, look what you had to do, man. Like, just use the monkey emoji.
Why is monkey a banned word?
The guess is because it seems racist. The guess?
That's so stupid.
I mean, everything with YouTube's guesses. Why are they doing this? Why? I don't fucking know. But yeah, it gives people a lot of, oh, am I on live chat? No, I'm not. Thank you for pointing that out, Ebony.
Yeah, Assassin of the Gray said Obama's people might have leaked it to Ryan's campaign.
Ooh, good call. Because that's not exactly dirty politics. That's just real politics. You know what I mean?
Wow. There's 400 pages of the documentation.
Yeah, TOS or Shrooms. The Chicago newspapers and TV news went to the court to get the divorce records unsealed. That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Fucking blood-sucking vultures, man. Every one of them. And, you know, Jerry Ryan's thinking like, so I liked anal in the sex swing in public. What's the problem? You know? Well, I totally didn't intend for this episode to go in this direction. I didn't think we'd be talking anyway.
So comics.
Yeah, so comics. Well, this all relates. There's Star Trek comics, and there's
is there Star Trek porn comics and sex swings?
Yeah, well,
there
I don't know.
Probably are.
I don't know if there's sex swings in particular, but there's definitely Star Trek sex comics. Yes.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee that.
Go over to DeviantArt and type in Star Trek. You'll have.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Talk about a haven for those 3 ungodly combinations of letters. It's probably a nesting place where they fucking spawn.
All right. Let's see. What do you guys want to talk about? We have this. Oh, I know what I want to talk about before I get all sore-throated. Talk about this thing. I alluded to it on a couple other streams, but DC social media ad accused of endorsing political change in China report. Now, what's interesting about this is from Newsarama, which is like ultra shiltastic. You know, these are the guys that went to Mark Wade to get the real story about him getting sued. I remember that. And it's like, wait a minute.
What are you talking about? I didn't do nothing.
This is This is the cover of Dark Knight: The Golden Child, like one of the variant covers of Dark Knight: The Golden Child that's available. And so it's like a person in a Batman costume with a Molotov cocktail, with the text behind it. You can see right down here, the future is young. Now, I guess a lot of people hadn't bothered to read Dark Knight Strikes Again or Dark Knight 3: The Master Race. This has nothing to do with promoting political change in China. Nothing. It's within the, quote, Millerverse, meaning like the non-canon Batman stuff that Frank Miller writes. This makes perfect sense. It's about rebelling against an insanely corrupt, ineffectual Gotham City government and police force. You know what I mean? Like, that's the...
So, China?
Just only in China would this kind of connection be made, or only on YouTube 10 years from now would this kind of connection be made.
Well, I think the important question is, was he throwing that Molotov at a Winnie the Pooh?
Oh man, I got to do that in Photoshop. That's a great idea.
I would give anything to see Batman beating the ever-loving fuck out of Winnie the Pooh.
The character shown in the cover is Batwoman, aka Carrie Kelly, one of the greatest fucking characters Frank Miller ever created, in my opinion. But let's just read their little take on it and see if they see what they do with it over on Shiltastic Newsrama. a DC social media post promoting Frank Miller's upcoming Dark Knight Returns Golden Child is being accused by some weasel words. Who is being accused by some of promoting China's pro-democracy movement. And as we all know, democracy's bad. According to Variety, DC, who declined comment, from you miserable bastards, reportedly posted, but then removed images from its Twitter and Instagram pages, although the publisher hasn't acknowledged any connection to the criticism and removal. The ad, seen it right, and you saw at the top of the page, a Molotov cocktail thing, uses Raphael Grampa's variant cover art with the text "Future is Young" added to it. DC released similar ads, repurposing the art with the same text. Quote, but the poster came under fire from Chinese internet users who contended that it contained coded messages in support of Hong Kong's pro-democracy protests.
Man, are they... They're seeing like a whole bunch of people memeing on them and like, you know, getting genuinely up in arms about the Chinese government encroaching on the rights of people in Hong Kong from various different places like Blizzard and the like, that they're now seeing it where it doesn't exist. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Chinese communists are being like paranoid.
Well, I do like the line, like, by is under fire from Chinese internet users that work for the government. I mean, seriously, what kind of or maybe somebody who's looking to increase their social credit score a little.
Yeah.
Quote, they said that the Molotov cocktail alluded to young Hong Kong protesters' more violent tactics, and that the Dark Knight's choice of black attire referred to the black-clad Hong Kong protesters, and that the golden child of the book's title was a veiled reference to the color yellow, which was taken up by previous pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong 5 years ago.
That's really reaching.
Oh man, put on that tinfoil hat, Jack. I think you have some competition.
That's great. Remember the guy on the Planet of the Apes poster? There was a character wearing the vest, the blue vest, and he was a Black Lives.
Sean King?
No. I forget the guy's name. He's a Black Lives Matter protester, and he always wears the vest, blue vest, to be identifiable. And he's like, and you put it on a Planet of the Apes poster. Clearly, this is me, and you're calling me an ape. You're so racist. It's like, what the fuck, man?
You see what you want to see, my man. You see what you want to see.
Oh, wow. And I mean, all of those things, I won't take you guys through, but the Golden Child is the main part of the story that it's focused around. The idea of a golden child means special kid, whatever, right? Like, all those things are explainable very easily. And it's like, Batman's wearing black, you don't say. I just... Oh,
now,
wow.
is this going to be a reimagining of the movie The Golden Child? Because that would be awesome.
I saw that movie just last year. It wasn't bad. It kind of held up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want the knife.
yeah. D-Ray, Ebony Williams says. There you go, D-Ray.
Yeah, D-Ray McKesson, assassin, pointed that out.
All right.
Faithful said, sounds like numerology. Make whatever you want fit your fantasy. Yeah, pretty much.
Where were we? The character shown on the cover is Batwoman, aka Carrie Kelly. It seems like it. I mean, she's the one who takes on the mantle for Batman after the events of Dark Knight 3, kind of, but I don't want to spoil that. You guys should go read it. It's awesome. Quote, no matter what the reason, to put an image up like this at a sensitive time means that you have a death wish. Right.
Oh, so now Chinese are saying that they're okay. Wait, hold on. The leaps of logic are a little bit too much for me here. The death wish, is it DC's death wish, or are they threatening death on DC now?
That sounds like a threat. I don't really see another way to see that.
Are Newsarama threatening DC?
No. Hold on. This is a quote, writes an unnamed social media commentator as reported by the Hollywood Trade. The ad is no longer on DC social media, responding to the controversy on Facebook. The artist has described the situation as surreal. I bet you feel that way. Absolutely. Neither DC series writer neither DC nor Frank Miller have commented on this issue. However, the original Dark Knight Returns delved deeply into politics, presenting then U.S. President Ronald Reagan as a key antagonist for Batman. No. Like, Reagan is absolutely in it, but he and Bruce Wayne / Batman have no interaction whatsoever. It's Superman and Ronald Reagan that have interactions. Did you? What am I complaining about? I'm talking about people that are trying to turn everything pop culture, whatever, into a means to argue politics, right? And this is, it's like, it does say, did you guys even read the book? The answer is always no. And if they did,
they didn't.
And if they did, then the response is, then you should know better. And why go through that song and dance again?
And then they're like, I can't read.
I think at that point, though, like, especially if someone is writing something and they can't read, then we've entered a world-breaking paradox here, and I think that's the only time where I say it's perfectly fine to laugh at someone who can't read.
Yeah. Speaking of people that can't read, indirectly, Mark Ruffalo offering to give his money away. How many of us sent him our Streamlabs?
He didn't offer to give his money away. He just said the capitalism is awful. So I sent him a link to my Streamlabs and said,
"Nicely done. Nicely done.
I'm perfectly willing to unburden you of your sin."
Yeah. See, I sent him my Streamlabs link as well. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, me too. Where's my money, Mark?
You know what he's gonna do, in my opinion? Nothing. He's good. Well, no, I think the guy probably does give to charity. He pulls a Bernie Sanders, not to make politics out of it, but he gives the minimum amount he needs to qualify for a certain amount of tax exemption. Yeah. I mean, that is always the thought of limousine liberals, champagne socialists, of country club communists. It shouldn't be coming from me. I shouldn't be giving charity. Charity should be spread across everybody. Don't ask me what I'm doing. The government should be taking stuff from everybody. Now, me as a millionaire, I need to be able to afford my limousines and champagne in order to talk about how evil capitalism is. I mean, it's as hypocritical as it sounds like, right? I mean, fuck you, Mark Ruffalo, you son of a bitch. How many fucking episodes have we dedicated to what a jerk ass that guy is? Fuck him.
I was actually going to suggest after that little exchange that we name this episode after Mark Ruffalo again.
Yeah,
I better of it.
We could call it Star Wars leaks are Mark Ruffalo's fault.
Mark
his
Ruffalo
lack of charity
yet again.
I mean, he's one of those guys that is just going to keep getting hired and hired and hired. He's like the aforementioned Alex Kurtzman. It doesn't matter how many bombs these people make. Hollywood is not as big of a group community as a lot of people think that it is. There's only like 24 writers in Hollywood that are continually hired.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. That's why all movies seem the same. And it's like, well, they have no imagination. Partly, but it's also that it's not actually that large of a group of people that are doing the writing and the editing and the producing. And Mark Ruffalo continually gets hired. Look at what's her name, who just tanked the
Charlie's Angels.
the Charlie's Angels franchise.
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks. And what happened immediately afterwards?
She gets hired.
Yeah, she gets a super sweetest plum offer to direct another franchise film. Like, you just destroyed one. Why did they offer you another one? Because it doesn't matter. Mark Ruffalo could be the most hated guy ever as long as he's continually getting hired. And so, my point being, we'll have plenty of opportunities to name episodes after this guy. It's not like it's the last time.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? You know, like if they tank it, but they're still hiring them, you know how you get them to take notice. This is very crucial, people. This is, if I can reach as many people as I possibly can with this little statement, for all of the people out there that are getting sick of this kind of shit being in their movies and outside of the movies, stop going to the movie.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. Do you think that'll really work?
Dude, okay, I am a firm believer in the giving my money to something that I think obviously, is something is going to entertain, as well as I think is a way to stick it to some people. That's why I saw the Joker twice. And how many times did I see Captain Marvel? How many times have I seen any fucking MCU movie after Guardians of the Galaxy 2? That's right.
Yeah, but Infinity War was good. I don't understand what your problem was.
Zero.
Point of personal privilege. Assassin of the Great makes a good point. A lot of these commies over in Hollywood won't be caught dead at the country club because it makes them look bad. So we should call them cafe communists because they hang out at Starbucks.
No, they send their fucking servant to Starbucks. Their illegal immigrant service.
I'm not just talking about the actors. I mean all the communists over there, like the big lefties, not just the actors but the people behind the scenes would all hang out at Starbucks.
Assassin of the Great. Some of us are wearing headphones. Quiz. Yeah, Quiz.
Sorry, I turned my head away from the microphone. I Tay-Zondated it.
Poor Rich. He says, I showed up. I thought this was the bar. I don't know shit about comics.
Well, we're not talking about comics right now.
Well, we are. It's like I said, it's Comic Curation where you talk about everything in and around comics. And this is Mark Ruffalo using his position as an actor in Marvel Cinematic Universe films as the Hulk. For those who don't know, he plays Bruce Banner. Mm-hmm. This is his fame. This is his promotion. He uses that as the platform, the launching ground to promote his bullshit worldview. Shut up and act, shut up and go to some acting classes because you don't do it very well, man. You whiny, bitchy moron.
He's overshadowed by the CG that replaces him whenever he hulks out.
Well, if you had seen Avengers Endgame, it's weird. It's like a quasi Mark Ruffalo Hulk thing because he's supposed to be like a hybrid of the two, where Bruce Banner actually has control of Hulk's mind when he's in Hulk form.
I've always hated that in the comics, dude.
Well, they did it in real life, but instead of continuing Hulk to look like Hulk, they CGI pasted Mark Ruffalo's stupid ass face onto the giant green monster.
Well, when he hulked out in the first Avengers movie, he still kind of looked like Mark Ruffalo. Kinda.
Only less douchey.
Well, yeah, because he's CGI.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dr. No just asked about the Black Widow trailer, and that makes a nice segue over to the trailer, which we did in fact see.
Yes, they made me. They made me. Send help.
Yeah. MCU trailer drop. Everything we learned about the Black Widow film. This is over on Bleeding Fool and stuff. And I'm just kind of using this as a launching ground to kind of talk about what we thought about the trailer. What did you guys think?
It looks bad. But then again, I haven't been excited about a Marvel movie since Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And I was let down by that.
it, it looked okay. I mean, it's probably going to be very formulaic and predictable and Disney-fied.
Well,
And
dude, like
what
even
bothers me is you can't really do a lot of sequels or anything because you know how it ends because of Endgame.
yeah. I'll say they're going back and this is the reason why I made a whole thing and I laughed about it and I kept on joking about it. There's a line in it where they say, "We have to go back." Now, I love that line. That line automatically like means that whatever happens in the movie you can automatically disregard. That was a popular saying in the 80s for really shitty action movies. But the best part about it is that we have to go back. Like having to go back to make a movie about Black Widow because she died.
Oh,
Oh,
spoilers!
oh, I see. Spoilers
Well,
from movies.
that's how she gets pulled into Shield, is pulled out of the secret KGB Operation Red Room bullshit that trained her, and she gets yanked out of that world into global security through Shield or whatever. And it's like, no, that would have been interesting. Instead, it's like, here's Natasha's family, here's her sister, here's her big fat father in a Captain Russia outfit. Like it's just,
Red
oh,
Guardian.
he's fat.
And that is not Taskmaster. I'm so sick of this. Like, okay, I can understand some of the costume design changes to make them quote realistic, but you don't need to throw away the iconic to do so. You know,
Yeah,
if the Punisher is not wearing the skull shirt, then he's not the Punisher. Like
yep,
he could be kitted out with futuristic guns like in the 80s or the 90s, or he could have actual real guns like in the 80s. But he still doesn't change the fact that he's got the skull emblem on his shirt, right?
yeah. Otherwise,
See,
you end up with the Dolph Lundgren movie, which should have just been called Mac Bolan.
but you can't get rid of the skull. That is the defining character skull in the hood. Those are defining characteristics of Taskmaster.
Yeah,
And the motorcycle helmet that somewhat kind of resembles a skull. No, fuck off.
no, he didn't even have a shield. Because he's supposed to mimic all the abilities of the Avengers.
Yeah,
So he
well,
didn't really
it's
look that part, other than that 2 seconds with the bow.
yeah. I don't know, man. It looks like generic and bad. The one fight scene in it had me laughing about how stupid it was with the whole sister thing, and they both point their guns at it, and they both take each other's guns, and then they point their stolen guns at each other again. I'm like, that was stupid.
There's 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 kinds of fighting, and you do see it in the trailer. Like, chat, you should go watch the trailer. It's only 2 minutes long, just to see what we're talking about. Watch it later. Don't leave. But you get the
Yes, yes.
idea. Over polished, over choreographed fighting where somebody's toe just taps somebody and they go flying across the room and they're doing it. It looks more like moves that you see during ice dancing or ballet than anything that's a fight.
Yeah.
While you're busy spinning around that person doing a pirouette or whatever, did you ever think of maybe punching them or kicking them in the kidney? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this doesn't even look like you guys are fighting. It looks like you're trying to do some weird sex dance or something. I don't
Mm,
know. It's fast moving. Only because you sped up the film and jiggled the camera. That's the only reason it looks exciting. If you held a steady shot on that, it looked boring as it looked like they were dancing. And
yeah.
I don't know. When you need 17 cuts in 3 seconds to make it interesting, I mean, fire your fight choreographer. And don't tell me it needs to look like that. Go watch a
Well,
John Wick film and there's like combat choreography done different and it looks awesome. So fuck off. Or any one of the Jason Bourne movies. There's more realistic fight choreography, even though it's fast paced and supposed to be highly trained, etc. It still looks like someone's beating the shit out of somebody, as opposed to whenever
well,
Black Widow's in a fight. And notice you never see Scarlett Johansson's face. You know why? She don't want to take a chance on breaking the moneymaker.
Mm.
what, her thunder thighs?
Well, her ass or giant pouty lips. And I mean, I want to be clear about that. Scarlett Johansson's still looking hot.
Eh,
And I've never denied that.
eh.
She should have left her nose alone and not gone for the stupid surgery she didn't need. But she's a airhead Hollywood twit. So what do you expect?
I think the movie's gonna end up being like a C minus, and it's gonna be one of those that you watch, you don't hate it, but you don't love it. It's totally forgettable, and it'll be like a PG-13 boring mess.
So you're saying it's going to be the new Ant-Man?
No, I think it'll probably be slightly worse than Ant-Man.
You guys didn't like Ant-Man?
I liked it okay. It was a C minus or
Yeah.
C plus.
I liked it okay. It wasn't like topping my list, but it was fun. It was worth my $15.
Yeah, wasn't worth that to me, but Evangeline Lilly looked hot, and yeah, it was like the movie was okay. It's not something I'm gonna run out and own, but if it's on TV, I might watch it. That's where this one's gonna fall, but slightly worse because it won't have Evangeline Lilly in it.
Well, I'll tell you what my concern was by the time the trailer was over. It's a pretty dour looking film by what they're presenting in the trailer, like dark and serious. And it's like, you know, I'm here to kill you. What's up, sis? And it just sounds so hackneyed, but she's like, I'm here to kill you. I'm here to kill you too. Well, we're going to kill all kinds of people. And then all of a sudden it's fat dad at the table, cracks some stupid fucking quippy joke, like it's like the MCU style humor. And then Black Widow gives this like kind of like, look on her face. I'm like, I think that trailer is disguising the fact that film's largely going to be a bunch of corny comedy.
Yep.
That it's a comedic adventure film, and they put the teaser trailer together to make it look serious, and it's actually not at all. I think it's going to be a rip-roaring comedic adventure.
Well, it's gonna be the Disney Channel edition, where everything is like bad slapstick jokes, cheap knocks on other people,
Yeah.
with a little bit of action sprinkled in.
Yeah, and there's going to be at least 2 moments where some big hulking Russian guy is going to like, come here, little girl. And she's going to say, don't call me girl. And she does like flips around him and does the stupid scissor head move. Have you ever noticed that every time Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow fights somebody in any one of the movies that she's in, she has to do this fucking crotch twirl where she puts her legs around his head and spins around him 5 times for no reason.
I hated that.
Yeah, it's like, what are you even doing? That's what I mean. It looks like ice dancing or ballet or something.
She's trying to suffocate them with her thunder thighs.
Yeah, okay, that was already done in GoldenEye, Maria. It's not sexy.
Yes, especially because Scarlett Jo's thighs look really meaty and cottage cheesy.
No, they don't. They look
do.
they look thick and awesome. It's you leave your anorexia fetish elsewhere.
In the cat suit, you can't really tell. I think the most disappointing thing about this entire trailer, though, is that I didn't see one scene that had crates.
I know.
Where are the crates?
I was led to believe that packing crates were going to have a starring role in this film.
I know.
That's true. I forgot about that.
We saw the photographs.
Yeah, where are my crates?
Fuck.
Maybe they're in the Blu-ray extended edition.
That's bullshit, man. They need to have the starring role that they were deserved, man. They're just going to be cut out of the movie like that. You don't do my crates bad like that.
Ryan Walters says, I want to see Taskmaster counter her scissor twist and show the look on her face. That would be hilarious. They both start scissor twisting and just scissoring each other.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Just a close-up of his cod piece right in her face.
Yep.
So they would basically be 69 and if they're both trying to scissor twist each other's faces, right? That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, that just sounds like a sex fetish.
And then you could have her sister standing off to the side, who's a fellow trainee, go, like, they both just land on the floor looking like they're in some kind of bizarro 69, because he's just using his superpower to insta-counter someone else's powers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they both just land on the floor with their legs wrapped around each other's head. And then her sister just says, yeah, why do you do that, Natasha?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a great breaking the fourth wall moment.
See,
or meta moment, like just like, yeah, it's fucking retarded. You should have never been doing that.
It's because she has that not so fresh feeling.
That is why we need to be writers for this stuff, man. We have way more comic knowledge, and we are actually funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Hashtag CBC MCU now. I like it.
Fuck yes. I would do the X-Men justice. God damn it.
I'll tell you something. I'm not in some kind of fantasy world where I think because I've got a few ideas, I could write a great script. However, I do think I'd be a good script consultant, meaning put me in the writer's room because I would annoy the fuck out of everybody because I'd be that guy going, fuck off. That's stupid. Yeah, fuck you. That's stupid too. Jesus Christ, do you ever say anything that's not fucking stupid? Like, I'd be that guy in the writer's room going, like, who the fuck told you to come in here and talk this shit? Well, Kathleen Kennedy hired me. Oh, that explains it.
Go get me some coffee.
Right? And Pop-Tart is arguing on behalf of those who have a thigh death fetish. Okay. Hey,
Gross.
Pop-Tart, how's it going? Related to Black Widow, though. I read this comic. Way. Bring it. This one. Bring up that. There we go.
I want to also just point out all these people that are clamoring for Black Widow. I'm going to invoke the nerd clause here and say I highly doubt that half of the people that were like complaining about how it's about time that she's getting her movie, you people didn't even know who the fuck she was before Avengers. Stop lying. You didn't know who the fuck Black Widow was. You didn't read a comic with her in it.
Of course not. The whole point is, it's like, well, it should be like Black Widow was originally, a socialite character who was like, she's kind of like the Rose in Spider-Man originally. She was a machination behind the scenes string puller. Do you know what I mean? Like that was original, and then they kind of wrote her differently over time. But I remember reading a Mary Sue article. They're like, originally canon in the comics, which you didn't bother to fucking read. Fuck off. You don't even know what you're talking about. They rewrote her and recast her as a super secret agent. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. But don't talk about original canon because she was a socialite marionette financier machinator. Anyway, so here's Web of Black Widow number 4. I like this cover a lot. Yeah, it's digital art, but I like it. And 6-packs on ladies are sexy. Yeah. Wait till you see the art inside. This is this is people buying the cover to
and then be disappointed. By the art.
Which is why you flip through things before buying them, because I would have bought this motherfucker in a hot second. Because I really wanted this to be good. I thought, oh, it'll be like a spy comic. Because
you're funny.
Right? No, I mean, I openly admit it. My naivete got the best of me because I'm thinking, oh, this will be like, there's an idea. Have me be the script consultant for Black Widow. You want to give the little girl something to look up to, blah, 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 female character. Why don't you make her actually interesting? Make her like a spy that's on the run. And so she's got to do this and that to like, I don't want to hear about her. Anyway, I think it's a great cover. One thing I don't get about it though, is that she's got like these arrows and they're purple feathered arrows, and apparently she's fighting someone who's firing the exact same arrows that she is because they're all embedded into the wall around and behind her. I don't get that.
She's just a really bad shot and they come back around.
She has boomerang arrows. Well, I'll have you know that Hawkeye does have boomerang arrows in his quiver, so you might not be wrong. The art on the inside sucks. Stephen Mooney, like, dude, wait till you see it come up. I mean, this is it's not quite Tumblr art. This is keep working. You're not ready for the pros yet art. Like, it's not bad. It's just, man, you just really need some work on body proportions and shit. I mean, first of all, your side shot of Black Widow here, this looks like a man. This is a man.
I don't question how she identifies.
No, it just came up. Yeah, it's a man with a mullet.
Yeah, like that's those. I'm not saying that she needs even the body proportions she had on the cover or an hourglass figure or anything, but you have not drawn a woman here, my friend, at all.
Look, just because Black Widow went all crying game doesn't mean that you have to hate.
And it, like, wait to go.
Snake,
So
we need to procure your weapons on site.
Look at her face of pain as it comes up on the next panel that I just flipped to. This is so bad.
Evolved pointed out that the chat in the on-screen thing has been stuck for like half hour.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Yeah, that happens from time to time. Sorry about that, guys. Let me go in here and fix that.
Oh, that's hideous.
Isn't it?
What is that face?
That's supposed to be pain.
Looks like she's like laughing.
Yeah.
I don't laugh when I say "gah."
I don't laugh when I say "gah." Well, and this whole comic has the problem that the last 2 pages have had. Nothing is happening. Back in my day, this would have been 2 panels on 1 page. She's bleeding. She's bent over in pain with the arrow in her side. That's it. You just wasted 2 pages demonstrating that she has an arrow in her side. You needed to fill 2 pages with that? No, you didn't. You're just wasting space. That's all. I'd love to see
These
this.
books are $4 a pop, man. They got to milk it for every penny.
And that's more or less basically what I'm talking about. This seems like a cheap ripoff. Where's my fucking story that I fucking paid for? You want people to pay for what amounts to 4 pages of story because you spread it the fuck out?
Yeah, that's exactly what they want.
This is decompressed storytelling run retarded. I mean, and
they got a pad for that trade paperback, dude.
Yeah. So she's been dealing with Matt Murdock, as you know, Daredevil's public persona, right? And it's, I'm fine, Matt. Just needed a place to crash for the night. I get that you think you're fine. Superheroes are good at convincing themselves of that. Did you think that maybe I needed your help? That I might ask for it? Maybe if you were the evil double you told me about, or a skull. Okay, so this whole page was a complete waste and it could have been covered in 1 panel. All of those word bubbles could have been in 1 fucking panel, but they fill an entire page with it. And this is the entire comic. I'm just
that panel with Matt Murdock holding his coat looks like a little kid wearing a suit.
She runs into Clint Barton, and okay, you know what? I'm going to leave it on this page. Like, this art, again, I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just not ready for prime time. What the fuck happened to Hawkeye's face and eyes? They simply weren't drawn. And this is a finished piece of art that went out. And they wanted you to pay $4 for
it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they do that a lot now, where they don't finish background characters in small panels.
Like, he has no mouth and eyes, no mouth, and his eyes are blacked out. Holy shit, they didn't pay you very much, did they? Yeah, and that's what I think it comes down to. They're getting not ready for primetime artists who are willing to accept extremely low page rates because they can't demand more reasonably because they're not incredible art. They're not, they're not Silvestris, they're not Lees, they're not, Finches, guys that can demand $400 page rates.
Well, I think the major thing about it too is that they're probably doing the Blizzard method, the whole work for exposure thing.
Yeah.
So you can put it on your resume. Hey, I was published in Marvel Comics.
Looking at you, Zoe Quinn.
Yeah,
I mean, this is bad, man. Like, this is not worth my $4. I mean, everything that's happening on these pages, this story is her flashing back to when she wore this outfit and she first encountered Clint Barton, and these few words, and that's it. It's crappy art. It's unfinished art. And it's not really relating anything other than she's currently thinking about a flashback. This is a 1-panel story, what you're looking at right now. It's good. I mean, 1 panel worth of story, but they stretch it to an entire page. It's insulting they want $4 for this, man. Come on.
This page I'm looking at right now with unfinished Clint Barton, that looks like Black Mask level of art.
Yeah.
Marvel is quickly making itself into a third string publisher.
You're talking about unfinished backgrounds, Jack. Look at the panel immediately beneath it. Look how unfinished that background is. What the fuck is Black Widow standing on? She's in midair. They didn't even finish the perspective lines to show that it continues on into the back of the room. Like, you know what I mean? It's Jesus. That's why they hired, remember background artists back in the day? You'd see pencils, backgrounds as separate things because the guys, women, whatever, doing the pencils would spend so much time on the foreground. There's no way they could pencil the background in that much detail. So they hire a separate artist just to do the backgrounds. But Marvel's not going to do that because that means, money.
Yeah.
I mean, this is screaming, we need a background artist badly. They're just solid colors and unfinished lines.
Well, and the body proportions don't particularly work either. It looks like they're copying like action figures that they have posed on their desk.
That's usually how people get those dynamic poses. I mean, I can't fault people for doing stuff like that, but no perspective and no background is kind of egregious.
Yeah, and don't use Gumby as your action figure.
I will say again, the person who drew this, what's his name?
Oh,
No, Stephen Mooney. Look, Mooney, I'm not trying to say you're a bad artist. Just keep at it, bro, and go to some art school where some people can give you some really strong, constructive criticism on how to improve your stuff. This guy could be a good artist one day, but you're just not ready for the pros yet. That's all.
yeah.
And I'm not even saying like 20 years from now. You just, need some solid work and spend more time on details and whatever. Just it's not worth $4, man.
Oh, Ryan said, I didn't know the Question cosplayed as Hawkeye.
Right? Let's see. Comic capture off. Okay. I just wanted to talk about that comic because, a lot of it's my own complaint about naivete. Like, so it's my fault. It's like, I wanted it to be good and it wasn't. So I don't know.
Since you brought that up,
Hmm.
I would like to point out something that pissed me off real bad
Sure.
as far as the art goes. If I can.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me display you here. Boom. Drag it over here. And sorry, chat. Just doing. There. You're good to go.
All right. Hold on. Let me get my system working.
I hear you. Professionalism, guys.
We all use outdated garbage equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the comic shop this weekend, and one of them I picked up was Punisher 2099. Well, look at this high quality art we've got here.
It's better than what Mooney pulled forth. At least those look like humans.
No, look at these fucking, what is this?
A jowl line that goes right to his jaw.
Yeah, that looks like a fight scar or something.
Right. Yeah, he's kind of a little. What's the character I'm thinking of? Wiz, the guy with the M tattoo.
Bishop.
Bishop. Thank you. He reminds me of Bishop with the long hair and everything.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be Polynesian. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got Samoan tattoos.
Oh yeah, that works. The tattoos do. Yeah, Samoan. Yeah.
But some of the art's not bad. Like this looked okay, but when they're actually showing faces, what the hell is going on with his nose does not match up with where his mouth is. It looks like somebody moved his mouth over.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Your boy Zach in his review of this comic, Punisher 2099, said the only that looks awful, Jack. Awful.
I'm telling you.
God. Holy fuck, that looks terrible. Oh wait a minute. So the I haven't read this yet. They do have the Thorlings from 2099 universe in this.
Yeah, they're a big part of the one shots.
They were a sweet addition to the original 2099 Cyberpunk universe. I gather they're horribly misusing them in a bad way.
No.
Not Thor.
I thought
Thorites, right? Thorites?
They're more for decoration.
Oh. That's too bad. It was a clever addition to the original 2099 universe, I thought.
This armor looked cool on the cover, but this artist sucks. He does some decent panels, but first of all, where are his lips?
And that's not supposed to be a weird robo mask?
No, that's his mouth. That's actually his mouth.
Damn.
The only way that makes sense is if it's weird robo mask, because you can't you can't anthropomorphize a fucking mask like that. And I've always had that problem with Batman Beyond too, because Batman Beyond they did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong, Batman Beyond was saved because it's actually got a lot of really good writing.
Yeah.
But
oh well, Ramen Noodle says something. The recent art of Captain America has been iffy in terms of faces as well. Yeah, it has been, because you hire Alex, I do pinup art like nobody on this planet, Ross, to do the covers. Yeah. And then the interior art is nowhere near that quality level.
Well, I would recommend skipping this one. This was easily the worst of the 2099 books that I've read so far.
Well,
That art was just painful to look at.
BC says, Quiz, how does it feel that artists are getting work that you're better than? And I've heard Grisella complain about that. It's like, Jesus, I couldn't get a shot at this stuff. And it's like, yep, there's lots of people out there not working right now that are better than the people that Marvel hires. Absolutely.
I was typing out my reply when you brought that up.
Okay.
But I'll just say it then. It sucks, yes, but I also look at that and say, at least I have my integrity. I mean, I'm okay with working in a 9 to 5 and, working on my own cartoons and stuff like that. And not needing to suck mouse penis. You know what I mean?
No.
Because they're owned by Disney.
Oh yeah. I just didn't unmedicated mouse penis. That's a pretty round. I'm like, who's got a tiny dick? What are you saying? Here's a quick thing I wanted to cover because Quiz, you're that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons announces new show D&D Presents. You heard about this?
No. I wouldn't be surprised. Where's it going to be on? Is it going to be on actual TV or is it?
I read through this, but I've already forgotten because medication. Let's find out. Yesterday evening, Dungeons and Dragons announced they would be launching a new live stream game on Twitch. Okay. Wait a minute. Dungeons and Dragons announces new show. Dungeons and Dragons announced they'll be launching a new live stream game on Twitch called D&D Presents. You got a conflict here, Bleeding Cool. The new show was announced on Twitter, letting folks know that D&D senior producer Chris Perkins would be returning to the DM chair.
Okay. So this, I'm just reading there. Anna Prosser, Nathan Sharp, Mika Barton, and Shady Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
They've removed Pro Jared and Holly Conrad from Dice Camera Action. They're just replacing Dice Camera Action with this new show. Because Anna Prosser and Nate Sharp were in that game with them. So I guess it's to the point now where the whole Pro Jared thing has come to a head for D&D, and they've completely disavowed him.
I've never seen Pro Jared's dick.
Where did that come from, Polly?
I'm just putting that out there. Lots of people have. Lots of people have. Not me.
Do you feel left out?
No, not at all. I feel I am left out, but I don't feel bad about it. I feel blessed because of it.
What's the reason to bring that up unprovoked, though?
Because pictures were sitting around. Everyone's talking about Pro Jared's dick like 3-4 months ago. Remember?
I'm just saying, man.
Don't you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, everyone was saying, "My God, why do I have to know what Pro Jared's dick looks like?" And I'm like, I don't know what it looks like. People DM me pictures. I sent shit to myself to push it off the screen. I've never seen his dick.
Okay.
I've also never seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup. You know how happy I am about that? I'm pretty fucking satisfied.
I've seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yeah, see, I never have to deal with that. I'm happy going to my grave into the next world, never knowing what happens with 2 Japanese girls and a cup.
They're not Japanese.
I thought they were Japanese.
No.
They're white girls? Chinese girls? What are they?
White girls.
Yeah, I've never... See? I didn't even know that. I thought they were Japanese. Because there's a lot of Japanese puke and scat porn, so I assumed they were Japanese.
Well, you even know what it is, so it's like, you don't need to see it. Not really.
Yeah, but I don't actually have an image. I can't summon any mental imagery of that, and I'm happy to say that. Same thing with Pro Jared's dick. He might have a huge slanging schlong or a tiny little micro penis. I have no idea.
Have you seen Tub Girl?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. See, I could have avoided that my whole life, right? And I would have been at maybe Tub Girl was like the best example. Like, yeah, okay. I learned to this is awful. Here, take a look. I've known to go no.
I saw Tub Girl. That's once. That's good enough.
So this is basically a rebranding with no Pro Jared. Is that the deal?
No Pro Jared, no Holly Conrad. Yeah.
Oh, well, here they go right into it. As part of the announcement, the company also quickly addressed the 8-month elephant in the room by officially announcing that Dice camera action was officially canceled.
Yep. So it's just a replacement for that with the with axing the two people that were quote the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mustafa
guess
would
they're
like
just
to move on. Yeah, I would imagine. We already have, man. Get... you know who says something like that? Can we just move on? Someone who has seen Pro Jared's dick and Two Girls, One Cup, and the mental images are coming back. See, he's horrified. He's got trauma. I don't have to deal with that. See, it's a good thing.
and now you're just gloating.
Mm-hmm. Dog backwards. Epstein didn't kill himself. And what Polly said. Oh, fuck. It's, I've often said I'm going to come back tomorrow and see what I talked about because I'm not going to remember I'm so medicated. Today's one of those days.
Yeah.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you very much for the tip. Says, Medicare said it was sad looking. I'll take his word for it. Never saw it. Don't want to. Medicare said that Pro Jared's dick was sad looking. Did he draw a little face on it?
I don't think so.
Jesus. Goatsy? Polly, how about Goatsy?
Goatsy, yeah.
What is that?
Can-
Is that another thing I don't want to look at?
It's a dude like with both of his hands with like all four fingers inserted into his ass, stretching it out like as wide as you like imagine the size of about like maybe 3 inches between your fists. That's him stretching his asshole up that big, and it's like someone.
See, I can't even imagine that, and it's because I've never seen this Goatsy thing.
Oh man, Goatsy's amazing. I
Oh,
love
it's
that thing's hilarious.
This is a huge win, guys. Ignorance is bliss. See what I'm talking about?
Did you ever see the one with the guy with the like AA batteries in his pee hole?
No.
Okay, guy, we have totally left comics behind, and we need to redirect, man, in a seriously big way.
Okay. Goatsy is a thing that people like to insert references to Goatsy in things like comic books. In fact, actually, someone took a picture of a ride from one of the Disney theme parks. It's a one of those watercraft rides. I don't want to say log ride because it's a little bit too on the nose, but it like the setup for it, the attraction looks like it's a broken down building, and like people are coming through rafts down the waterfall on the side of the building. But the way the building is broken up, so that, yeah, you got the hole that the raft is coming through, is two like panels of the wall, and it looks like the fingers in the Goatsy asshole.
Wow, you told a long story to get to that, man. Jesus fucking Christ. I was sitting there thinking, where is this going?
That kind of shit is posted all the time on 4chan. One of my favorites is there's another one.
Make it short, for Christ's sake. Make it short.
It's a Disney camera, okay?
All right.
And the camera looks supposed to look like Mickey Mouse, but it's like red, so it's like Disney or Mickey's overalls, and it's got two Mickey hands on either side of the lens. So it looks like he's spreading his ass all open.
Okay.
It's so funny.
See why it's like 4chan.
Like
this
that.
Awesome thing happened on 4chan. It's like, now you know why I don't go there. Oh, fuck.
It's so funny.
All right, so let's since we're on some Disney, let's
yeah, making fun of Disney is always good.
Let's talk some stairwares. Holy shit, there's been a whole lot of leaks coming out, right? Doomcock and all sorts of other people who have like connects on the inside, and people who have read the scripts, especially John Boyega.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't give. Yeah, fuck that guy. He. Where was I going with this? Fuck, I'm so medicated. Anyway, the leaks make this movie sound fucking awful. There you go. Okay, chat. I want to talk some fucking spoilers, and I don't know if they're spoilers. I just want to talk about the leaks, but maybe you guys don't want to hear about them. I don't know. Should we mention what the leaks are, Jack? I don't know. What do you think?
Let's just kind of gloss over what the leaks are because they're pretty bad.
Yeah, let's just talk about some of the big ones that are. Oh, I know. A counter leak. I'm not going to tell you what's in the film. I'm going to tell you what's not in the film. How the fuck the Emperor is back is not in the film. He's just back. They cut the scenes explaining how he returned. Everybody knows from the previous trailers, you hear Emperor going, no one's ever really gone. And then you hear that, Palpatine laugh in the background, right? Yeah. Okay. So he's obviously in the film, and they've shown production shots, and there's the cloaked Emperor, blah, 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 fighting Rey, whatever the fuck, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. The scenes where they explain and show how, by what means he came back, etc., those have been cut. He's just back. Shut up.
I'm telling you, they're going to surprise us. It's going to be Darth Jar Jar.
I tried warning Zelthor about Dark Jar Jar months ago, and he didn't believe me.
I know. I believe you now. And I think you were right. I'm admitting that you were right. And
oh, that's a terrible thing to do.
Look at Functional. Functional is like the quintessential example of what Disney has done to people. Who cares?
Yeah.
The care is just who gives a I don't fucking, whatever. Jesus. Well, this is Star Wars. You managed to screw up the most profitable, famous, well-known global intellectual property, and you fucked it right in the ass to the point where people just respond, nah, I don't give a fuck. Tell me what happened. Jesus.
Yeah.
They fly now.
You gotta remember, Polly, Palpatine was dead. Mm-hmm. He's fine now.
He got better.
Not only was he dead in Return of the Jedi, spoilers, but he picks him up. Darth Vader, picks up Palpatine and throws him down a reactor shaft. And he apparently, and there was this big gust of whatever plasma and shit that shoots up. He not only was killed, he was fucking evaporated.
Yeah.
It turned
him better.
He got better.
He used his white privilege to reassemble his atoms.
Dude, you know what the coup would be is if when he got atomized like that, he reassembles himself like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
And gives Rey cancer.
Well, I guess because they've cut it from the film, it's cloning stuff. Like that's the explanation of how he came back.
Yeah.
It's all like,
Camino.
Thank you. Camino cloning stuff. It's like, yeah, well, he was at the head of it. All right. That's a fair enough in-universe explanation or whatever particular mechanism they're going to use. The Emperor who was killed was in fact a clone, or there's multiple of him that are ready to be activated at any point and he can just force ghost float into the new clone or whatever. Who knows? But there's no explanation of it. It's just like Snoke. So who was Snoke? Doesn't matter. Okay, well, was he like a Dark Lord of the Sith? Doesn't matter. Like, they just don't mention anything.
Yeah, he dies. Like, he dies and does absolutely nothing. So it's like, who cares who he was? It doesn't matter.
They're subverting expectations. And just because you don't get it, you stupid fanboys. I don't know. This is dumb. I have zero interest in seeing this movie.
Well, I told you, I'm going with Popcorn Man because I want to watch the biohazard dumpster fire. If it's even remotely plausible what's going on, I mean plausible like in the fictional world, I'm going to be excited as fuck. It'll be great because my expectations are so low. I'm expecting to see the, oh, hello, Mark version of Star Wars at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, no, Polly. Do you now see, with your desire to see this, why I want to see an America Chavez movie?
Oh man, America Chavez as a film legitimately would be great, especially if they use Gabby Rivera's comics as the base lore, because she really loves her burritos, or no, chalupas. What the fuck was it that she said she dug?
I think it was chalupas.
The only thing that would make me go see that is if Gabby Rivera played America Chavez.
Oh, she'd be fucking perfect. with her. And I mean, they every movie has to be an origin story when it's a superhero film, right? It seems like is the lazy way to do it. So you know what that means. We get to see lesbian goddesses in the lesbian universe fuck and form a planet full of lesbians.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need this to happen.
Yeah. I mean,
Jesus.
don't you want to see
level of
lesbian
excitement-
goddesses? I do.
Your level of excitement for this quiz is disturbing on so many levels. But I get
Again,
it.
some men just want to watch the world burn. I feel so much more like the Joker when I imagine the train wreck that an America Chavez movie would be.
Yeah, well, I held out a little bit of hope for Rise of Skywalker, thinking maybe they'll get their head out of their butts and salvage this. Until I saw the space ponies on the Star
Man,
Destroyer.
those really get to you, don't they?
They do. That really sealed the deal.
See,
That was
man-
like, no, this movie's a lost cause.
They have horses in Warhammer 40K, but it works. You know why?
But they're not running across a Star Destroyer.
They're not running in space. Yeah, that's
Well,
the major rub.
I don't think that scene takes place in space. I think it takes place on a planet. But they're on an Imperial Star Destroyer. It looks so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
well,
I'm so angry about it.
here's it. So they created a Death Star in. Well, the Death Star became operational in Star Wars: A New Hope '77, right? And then they bring it back. They create a new, bigger, more deadly Death Star for Return of the Jedi, which also gets destroyed in that film. So they do Force Awakens. So a new, bigger, what was it called? Planet Death Dealer. What was it?
I don't remember.
Star Killer. So they create a Star Killer. So it's a bigger, badder Death Star, and they explode that one too. So what's the new Death Star? Have you heard the leak?
It's going to be a solar system, right?
No, you know that fleet of Star Destroyers you see in the trailer.
Galactic Core.
You know that fleet
Oh
of Star.
yeah, they have all got like Death Star cannons on
Yes,
them.
they do. Every
Yeah.
single one of them has a Death Star radar cannon that each one of them has the power to destroy a planet.
Ah, that's so awesome.
And Palpatine had been secretly creating them on his secret planet where he's been secretly hiding. Creates an entire fleet of Star Destroyers with the power of the Death Star, and nobody knew.
Yeah, that iceberg he's been living on, I'm telling you, that's the iceberg that Disney is driving Star Wars towards.
I got nothing. Like this sounds so bad. I'm excited. I'm like I said, I'll be there with popcorn, man.
Just watch David Hasselhoff's Star Crash.
What? Is that an actual thing? Is that a thing?
Yeah. It was a knockoff of Star Wars called Star Crash with David Hasselhoff in it.
I
It's
mean,
one of his early movies.
I'm sold right away. But
Oh, dude, you wait till you see it. Of course, you didn't like Thanksgiving either, so
yeah, but justifiably.
I'll see if Star Crash is on YouTube. I got it on Blu-ray.
Well, is that like some German made-for-TV movie or something?
No, it was just a low-budget knockoff of Star Wars.
I kind of want to see this.
Oh yeah, here it is. Give me a minute. There's a fucking ad playing. I'm gonna make sure it's the whole movie. Yeah.
Fucking
Okay.
ads.
I'll throw it into the chat for the joy and sorrow of all involved.
I'll say you keep on saying Star Crash. I keep on thinking Snow, or was it Snow Crush? The one book all about a
Jesus.
oh, man. Is it, I can't remember if that's the name of it or not, but it's a book all about a pizza delivery guy, and his like it's this like whole ridiculous overblown techno future where the only jobs that someone can have is in the pizza delivery business.
Oh, that sounds cool. But if you want a book about a pizza delivery driver, you should buy my book, The Variant Mythos, available on Amazon through this link I'm putting in chat.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
It's and subtle too.
Well, let's not get carried away. No, but Star Crash is seriously one of my favorite bad movies.
I'm going to look into that.
Snow Crash. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Turkish Star Wars was a lot of fun, but that's kind of hard to find YouTube keeps taking it down.
Oh, dude, Turkish Star Wars.
It is good, but Turkish Spider-Man was worse. Like,
Yeah.
meaning better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
So,
come on,
I-
beer-gutted Spider-Man with his gut actually hanging out the underneath his shirt.
Did you ever see the Batman movie that the Philippines made?
No.
Oh my god, it is great.
I only know about Turkish Star Wars and Turkish Spider-Man because of Brad Jones.
Oh man, no, the Filipino Batman and Robin was fucking awesome. My search history auto-filled it in. There's clips of it on here, but it looks like they don't have it on YouTube anymore.
I say Ramen Noodles was saying that the DC Black Label Harleen has been good. So I think I'm gonna go and pick that up.
Oh no.
I've been curious about it, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna be good.
There you go, gang. Found it.
What, Turkish Star Wars or?
No, the Batman movie I was just talking about.
Ah.
It is absolutely nonsensical drivel. And that's why it's fucking amazing.
Hey, Assassin of the Gray, I see you're a man of culture as well. Yeah, Brad Jones is cool. I like Brad Jones.
Fuck yeah. I've been watching his Christmas. They're part of a playlist on his channel, all the Christmas movies he's reviewed over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Black Christmas and stuff like that. I've been going through them, and yeah, Brad Jones is funny as fuck. Cinema snob. Those of you haven't, if you want to watch actual good comedy, go check out his like comedy reviews. Yeah, go check out the Cinema Snob channel. It's hilarious. I want to cover this story real quick. Jack sent this. Disney hit with an antitrust complaint over South Korea over Frozen 2 Monopoly. I just find this funny.
Ooh. So now we've got it's Frozen 2 and now has an antitrust lawsuit because
No,
of it?
Disney does.
Well,
An NGO based in Seoul has alleged that the film occupied 88% of local screens on its opening day, violating Korea's anti-monopoly laws. The inquiry into the Disney release is expected to further inflame the debate over major studio dominance of the country's film market. A South Korean civic group has filed a complaint with local prosecutors against the Walt Disney Company, claiming that Frozen 2 violated the country's Antitrust Act, 88% of domestic screens. Since its release, Frozen 2 has earned more money than most nations will ever have. The sizable haul makes Korea the film's third largest market worldwide. And why not? We're Disney. We own the planet. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Fuck you, you peasants. On Sunday, the Public Welfare Committee, an NGO based in Seoul, hilariously tried to file a complaint against our global lord and master, requesting a probe into Walt Disney's suspected monopoly of the domestic movie market. The organization alleged that Frozen 2 occupied and was beamed into their minds. PwC contends that Disney's wide release of the film falls under the clause that defines any individual or company with over 50% of the market share and an attempt to control our minds as a market-dominant enterprise. Disney has, quote, attempted to monopolize the screens and seek great profit in the short term, restricting the consumer's right to choose. Disney responded by saying, go back to your plantation, serf. Current Korean law pertaining specifically to movie exhibitions states no cap on the share of screens that one film can occupy. But the recent dominance of imported Disney tentpoles and other local blockbusters by major Korean studios has sparked fervent industry debate over the issue. Yeah, and it just goes on to detail more stuff.
Holy shit. I didn't think it was going to actually be a thing.
What?
Hold on. I'll screen share it in a second.
Yeah, 80% of the screens, though. I mean, that's a lot.
88.
Yeah, I mean that's. You go into a major city and see every theater showing this on most of their screens. That's pretty fucking crazy.
But you know the deals that they were talking about that major studios do, especially Disney, with large theater chains. If you want to show our film, you have to agree to no other openings. It has to be shown on at least X amount of screens for at least Y amount of weeks, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they're guaranteeing a certain income because they're such a big badass in the marketplace. They can actually demand stuff like that. Yeah, I hear you. And it's Disney who's doing that. It's like, wait, you want to not have Star Wars, fucker? And it's like, no, we want it. Okay, then do what you're told. Yes, sir.
So it was a fairly decent bet that this would be a thing, but I just wanted to see if it was a thing. You're talking about Frozen 2 and Monopoly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Frozen 2 Monopoly. It's Frozen 2 Monopoly.
Dun,
That's what we were waiting for. A giant fucking dad pun.
Yeah, well, it's actually a thing. I couldn't help but look for if it was actually a thing, and
Oh
it
my
is.
God. You know what I just thought of? Another thing I need to add to a SoundCloud, and I'm putting a sound pad, and I'm actually writing a note for myself to do this. You know that sad ass recorder playing of "My Heart Will Go On"?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the one? I need the derpiest sounding da-doom-ch for when Quiz cracks jokes like that. It'll be like da-doom-ch, doom-ch.
Hey man, my comedy should come with a rim shot. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Special needs rim shot. I mean,
I'm just glad you guys didn't crack a rim shot sex joke, but I kind of just accidentally did.
Rim job.
Well,
It's completely different.
No, you never heard of. Okay, good. You never heard of rim shot. Let's just leave it at that. Ramen Noodles says, "What beamed into their minds?" Yeah, I guess I should have said that. When I'm not enjoying a story I'm reading, I just add in lines that totally aren't there. It's for comedic value. No one is beaming anything in anyone's mind, but don't tell me that Disney doesn't have a division where they're not dedicated to psychic mind control, where you can't but see their films. I believe that they would go for it if they could.
It doesn't work on me.
you know what film you won't see? Song of the South.
Right? Hey, Brer Rabbit is a fucking great character. I love Brer Rabbit.
Zippity yay.
Yeah, let's not get that stuck in people's heads. They'll freak the fuck out. Oh, one last thing I want to talk about. The new James Bond trailer dropped today. I was unaware that the trailer was coming out. I was unaware of even the name of the film. Was anybody else?
I had no idea.
Nope.
Yeah, it's No Time to Die.
And I can't die today. I have too much to do.
Yeah, and here's Daniel Craig in his tacta turtleneck. Looking cool. From the stories that we read, and because they did a press release, and they're like, ooh, the new James Bond is a black woman. And because it's a first, and promotes our worldview, and we're so progressive, and we're in the media, shiltastic, fuck you. They made it sound like Daniel Craig wasn't even in the film. I remember talking about it on Comic Book Curation. And then a whole bunch of people said, really? If you watch the trailer, she's just a character in the film. She's another 00 agent. And yes, they made it clear that it's not like she was Jane Bond or something like that. But they left it unclear, and they promoted it so much, and they said starring in the film. No, Daniel Craig's the star of the film, and she's like a co-star. It's a co-star of the film would be the way to say it. They made it sound like Craig was going to be in there in a minor capacity. Now, Jack... Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, now Jack believes that he will be in there only in a cameo minor capacity, so I don't know. But the trailer doesn't make it look that way.
What I understood of the plot was that Bond is going to be taken out of action, and this chick takes over. So because they kind of implied that he's been missing.
Yes.
And that she's the 007. So when he comes back, there's already somebody as 007. And it's this chick who's probably going to be a traitor or whatever. I thought they were going to injure him. He'd be sidelined. She'd take over. And then at the end, he comes back.
Yeah. They couldn't help but include the line in the trailer, and of course include the line in the film where the new 00 is saying to Bond, you're going to stay out of my way. Stay in your lane, or I'll shoot you in the knee. The one that works.
Get it? 'cause he's old.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I was talking to these guys, like, before we went live, we were talking about this, and I'm like, if you want your strong, independent women who don't need no man seem like they're actually that, don't have them say things like that. Because that's like the screenwriter leaning down and slapping the audience in the face going, she's a strong woman. Do you get it? I mean, that's right next door to having a character exposit on her behalf. Like having M say, Bond, don't mess with this woman. She's twice the agent you ever were. And she's not thinking with her dick like you are. She's the greatest asset British intelligence has ever had. Just so you know.
Well, that's a little bit too on the nose for Mary Sudom, but yeah, no, the whole thing about the stay out of my way, you man, and the I'm a strong independent woman who don't need no man. All of these sorts of things. It's the whole concept is a cliche and it's a tired one. So every single time that it happens, the audience does nothing but roll their eyes. The only people who are sitting there clapping like seals at "Stay in your lane, old man" are gonna be the people that, spoiler alert, don't fucking go to see movies. You want fucking proof of that? What about the Mary Sue article talking about the extolling the virtues of the Charlie's Angels flop when the person who is saying that it's important didn't go fucking see the movie?
Yeah.
That is a hate fact.
They make a huge deal of this character, and I'm not gonna lie, she's a very, very pretty woman, no question. In the trailer, they make a big deal out of it, like, you changed your life and gave up everything for her, and now the secret is known. Her secret has come out. Wait till she finds out or wait till you find out what she's been up to. Blah blah blah, attempting to be whatever you want to call it, intriguing or whatever, attempting to titillate the audience with what's her secret. I'm not gonna lie, Daniel Craig looks pretty fucking hardcore in this poster. What is Daniel Craig taking lessons from Stacey Dash? How is it he looks younger in this movie than he did in the last one?
Photoshop.
Makeup Photoshop. They digitally de-aged him, you think?
Yeah.
Because he looked haggard in the last film. Just his face, I mean. But yeah, I guess they might have digitally de-aged him or whatever. But the action sequences and as a trailer generally, except for that, stay in your lane, Mr. Bond. They go, fuck off, lady. And then you're the googly-eyed weirdo that you like is the villain.
The googly-eyed weirdo.
Rami
Malek, yeah.
I don't understand your vitriol, Polly. I don't. What did he do? He didn't fuck Stacey Dash, did he?
No, and as far as I'm aware, he never had a relationship with any of the ladies. Your Lisa Bonet's or what's her name? Or the other one.
He doesn't even know his crushes. Oh, typical man.
I am so medicated right now. It's like, what? We're streaming? Who are you people? How'd you get in my room?
Get out of my room. Get out of my house. Get off my lawn. Don't make me dry click my revolver at you.
I don't have a revolver out right now. Although my AR-15.
Right now.
Well, yeah. But no, I just say my AR-15's over there. Remember I said I'd switch to the... Anyway.
Yeah, you've been sleeping with the AR-15. In place of your body pillow.
Beside me. Not... When you say sleeping with it, it makes it sound like it's under the covers with me. That's not what's happening. Fuck.
Well, it's got to stay warm, Polly.
No, it doesn't. They operate fine in a cold environment, man. It wouldn't.
No, you need it warm and cuddly.
The last thing any gun is cuddly. Jesus.
Whatever.
You're gunning. Manic says Rebecca Hall. Yeah, no kidding. If I find out Rami Malek is fucking Rebecca Hall, I'm just moving to the mountains. I'm giving up on society.
Jason Momoa.
Well, I've already dealt with the fact Rebecca Hall got married and had a kid. It was a sad day. I mean, God damn it, woman, betraying me like that.
Does the kid look like Aquaman?
No, I forget. Who it was. He's some British producer or something like that. Another movie person. I'll tell you what's actually sad though. is the like, I mean, obviously it's like, oh yeah, like I had a shot. No, it's more like I even met these people. What's sad though is the guy that Laura Harrier's with. You should see that dude. What an ugly fucking man. And so why is she dating him? Well, he's a player in the NBA. That's why. Oh, Jesus. That's all it takes. Fuck. I'd be in there like you wouldn't believe. Swagger outdoes money every time, guys. Believe it.
I'm pretty sure the money helps a lot.
Yeah.
She herself is rich. What would that matter?
More money?
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a giant dong.
Weird looking guys always do.
Yeah. Well, formerly Rodline says the PPK is the perfect weapon for Bond. No, it will be painted pink for a woman. Yeah, well. You know what in the last Bond film, when he basically gets a Walther PPK back, and I mean, they had him with a PPQ for a while and people got bent out of shape. They had him with a modern Walther polymer frame pistol. And it's like, no, he's got to have the iconic Bond gun. So they give it back to him, right? You have Q giving him, and it was actually a funny line. He gives him this transmitter that, secret earpiece that's like hyper connected to all sorts of satellites, can't be blocked, etc. And then a Walther that has like fingerprint access, so only he can fire it, kind of thing. And Bond says, so you're giving me a radio and a gun. Like those are the only gadgets he gets. And I'm like, that's actually a pretty funny self-aware line for a Bond film, as opposed to laser watches and remote control sports cars and all sorts of other crazy shit. Ebony asks, would you want a sugar mama? I'm not opposed to this idea. Hey, listen, if I had wealth, I'd be willing to share it with my woman. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman sharing her wealth with a man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. So, let's
I look forward to seeing your Craigslist entry then.
What? Those are escorts, not whores. It's different.
He's right.
Assassin the Grey says Craig was using a Walther P99. Yeah, at that time he was. Not a PPQ, a P99. PPQ's better. Good call. Anyway, they had him go back to the PPK. I just they have to make it advanced somehow. They just can't have him with like an old 1930s designed gun, right? So they got to put that stupid fake fingerprint shit that they put it. I mean, movies I've seen that in. You know how reliable that technology is? I mean, it actually exists, but you'd never want to bet your life on it. Oh, I picked up the gun and the signal's not coming through. Think about this for a second. You have a firearm in your home, chat, okay? And it's as reliable as your internet. Is it even worth having?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Comcast goes down and then I can't shoot my gun.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it deactivates the safety mechanism via the internet. I'm just saying the technology is not very reliable. I'll count on springs and metal parts before I'll count on the reliability of some fucking software designed by some fucking Southern California retard attempting to create a technology just so fucking lawmakers can pass it into law, acting like they've done something when they really haven't. Oh, all the guns are safe now. Yeah, completely unreliable and useless for purpose. Anyway, back to comics.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, and possibly has something to do with that little micro rant I just went on. My throat is killing me. Why don't we move on to pitches and wrap this fucker up early, like we said we were gonna?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah. Oh, I do have one final laugh for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what sold better than I did the math from Comic-Con last month? Do you know? Are you aware of Jungle Fantasy?
Yes.
Yes. So this
Chuck
is
Dixon.
No, that's Jungle Comics. Jungle Fantasy's that dirty one.
Oh, that's the porn comic. Yeah.
It is not dirty nor porn. It is erotic.
It's porn.
Okay. Dirty porn erotica.
Here's the cover.
Oh, great.
of Jungle.
Good night, everybody.
It's just the cover, okay, of Jungle Fantasy number 3. Well, this is actually Jungle Fantasy Survivors number 3. Okay, this comic, the month it came out, sold better than 27% of the Marvel comics that month. And that isn't me guessing. That 27% according to Comic-Con. Wow. Yeah. Like, guys, I can't flip open the first page. Like, just,
Yeah,
but,
because
but,
it's immediately just the dick in asshole.
Yeah,
right.
there are usually at any given time about 8 different covers, and only one of them they have fully clothed like this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you get an idea from this cover what kind of comic it is. And this is tame. The majority of the imagery inside the comic is straight up nudity. They're not wearing loincloths. They're just straight up fucking naked. And there's lots of sex, lots of spread things, lots of bodily fluids, etc. And it a nudie comic. I don't know what else to call it. It's a trash mag, man. Sold
Yeah, it's
better.
smut.
Yeah, it's smut. Thank you. That's a great way to describe it. This is a smut comic, and it sold better than 27% of Marvel that month. That's how bad Marvel's gotten.
That's so sad. And you know what's really bad is the paper quality and art are probably better on Jungle Fantasy than on Marvel.
Oh yeah, no, they're way better. Oh my god, they're way better.
This is quality. This is quality art. If you look at it, like, I mean, yeah, okay, it's quality art because two hot babes and wearing next to nothing. But I mean, the art, like, this is way better than the Black Widow we were looking at. Way better.
Yeah. Well, no, the internal art too. It's way better. It has to be. to titillate it, it kind of has to. And Ramen Noodle and former Rod Line, you guys were like, okay, Ramen Noodle said, is Jungle Fantasy like bikini comics? And Rod Line said, is the bad version of heavy metal. Dude, okay, those were risque. This is straight porn. There's fucking in this book.
Oh yeah, there's regular hardcore fucking scenes, absolutely.
Yes.
Like, and not just in one or two issues. It's guaranteed in every issue there's at least one sex scene. It's what
there's at least like 5 or 6 in every comic.
It's a straight up adult comic. So this is Polly's pitch. No, it's not Polly's pitch. Formerly wrong. Oh, it's a Japanese comic. That's cool, man. That's
Evolved Potato said they're way better. I know you got a copy. I don't have a copy, but I have read every single issue of this.
What? Why? Why?
Why? I was curious.
The storyline is still probably better than Marvel because they're not sitting around eating.
There's like a lot of there's one series where this like main woman, her husband gets eaten by a dinosaur, and then her child gets taken away by these bandits, and then it's her trying to find her child, trekking across the jungle, all the while running into people and that like fuck her along the way.
I read, like, this is the only copy of Jungle Fantasy. Like, I've seen it lots, right? Like in comic shops and online and stuff. This is a digital edition. It's the only one I actually read, and it was not like, I mean, guys, I read it in like 3 minutes. There's not much to fucking slow you down. It's not a think piece, you know what I mean?
No, it's not.
And so I read that one, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of like I don't know, what would you call it, Jack? Like not Conan exactly. Like it's like Greystoke or whatever. It's just jungle warriors, tribal fighting warlords with spears and shit. Yeah, prehistoric. Yeah. It's hero warrior woman fighting tribal warfare kind of thing, and with lots and lots of nudity and fucking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously.
Ryan Walters, the woman, Liam Neeson. Well, she does have a particular set of skills.
All right.
I'm not sure if Liam Neeson has the same set of skills. I don't really want to know that, but
I am just pulling up my stuff to pitch. Are you ready to pitch, guys?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I don't remember if I actually pitched this or not, but here we are.
You know what? I'm in the same boat, man. I don't actually remember if I...
You've not pitched it, but you keep talking about it, and I want to read it.
This is the Joker, You're the Villain one-shot.
Hold on. Let me share the screen. Jesus Christ. Just...
oh my God.
Ready now. I know. Hold on.
Written
okay, shoot. Go ahead.
Written by the film legend John Carpenter. This is actually a $5 book. The art is by some guy.
That's
Philip
great.
Tan.
Jack.
Some guy.
And now the adventure really is told through the eyes of one of Joker's henchmen. He's the Six of Hearts, I think it is. and they escape from Arkham Asylum and go on a wacky adventure and even dress up as Batman and Robin to fight miscreants. And they do encounter other villains like the Enchantress, and they have just the most insane ride ever. And this it's all told through this guy's perspective, and he's mentally ill as well, but he's not like the Joker mentally ill. So it's just I just took some of the images because I didn't want to ruin the storyline. But it is
Somehow.
a crazy, crazy book. And
It looks
John
pretty good.
Carpenter really understands the Joker. I would love to see him do like a 4-part miniseries or something like that with Batman, because I had a blast reading this. It was so much fun. Yeah, Condiment King makes a guest appearance as well.
Nice.
But it's just it's crazy. Like the Joker threatens to kill his own sidekick unless he says something funny, stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
just
sounds about.
yeah, but
Oh,
it's the size of an old school annual. It's like 40 pages,
okay.
and it was just a good time. It's a real fast paced story. I didn't realize how quickly it went by, but John Carpenter is a multi talented genius, and I really enjoyed this. I really hope he does some other comics. So, definitely, if you get a chance to pick this up, do it. If you're a Joker fan, you're gonna love it, and if you're a Batman fan, I think you'll get something out of it. It was a surprising amount of fun.
Okay.
Nice.
Definitely need to look at that one.
I mean, everybody and their dog's talking about it. I haven't read it myself, but there's been really positive things, and like, yeah, that pitch convinced me. I want to read it.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be crap. I was like, it's just overhyped. No, it was legitimately a fun book.
Nice.
All right, Quiz, you want to go?
Sure.
All right.
Let me just share screen. Okay, so my pitch, it's actually 2 stories, but it all is the same thing. Writer Stuart Moore, artist Valentine Delandro, colorist Steve Busaletto, Busaletto, I think.
Sure.
My pitch is here. Let me just do entire screen. Yeah, share. Batman in Noir Alley. What's kind of cool about this one is I believe it was a promotion by Turner Classic Movies. You can see right down here. It was, I believe, it started off as a comic convention freebie.
Yeah. It was.
Uh, and it's actually really interesting. It starts off with this bit here where Bruce Wayne is in the movie theater watching the Moroccan Raptor. Of course, a reference to the Maltese Falcon. But yeah, he's talking about how without movies, there'd be no Batman. Yeah, you didn't think about it, but yeah, it's
I
actually kind of
guess.
true.
Yeah.
If he didn't
I,
go
I
see,
blame Zorro personally.
yeah, Zorro, yeah, he's the real culprit. But yeah, it starts off with this intrigue, murder mystery of guy coming out of the projection booth, shot, and Batman on the case to try and find the killer. And he runs across this man right here who's this noir detective connoisseur. This guy knows everything there is to know about every crime movie ever, and of course he's the guy to immediately be able to pick up on and follow the case for the Moroccan Raptor. And it's fairly interesting. This one isn't as interesting in my opinion as the second comic or the second story in the series. This one right here, Gotham Noir, is all about Jim Gordon, ex-cop, a killer, running through the streets, and Batman's chasing down Jim Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a whole story trying to uh, exonerate Gordon. But yeah, you can't tell me this panel or this page right here doesn't just scream noir.
Gritty
In every
detective
bit.
drinking lady shows that she walked in
Yeah,
my
femme
office.
fatale.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, no, this is a great comic. I highly recommend it for people that are into noir, into detective scenes and stuff like that, as well as Batman. So yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Cool.
For like a promote. It's not often that you're going to talk about like a promotional comic because it's not like what was the one that we did? Axe Body Spray, the Marvel comic. Remember that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Like there's a promotional
Forgot about
comic,
that.
and it's just what were the Fresh Kids or whatever, and each one of them was named after one of the different Axe scents. Like, oh my god!
It was so bad.
Yeah. All right. I think I might have pitched this before if I did. Medication's the problem, but it's because I recently reread it because rereadability, that's an important thing in comics. If I can only read it once for my $4, you've ripped me off, you cocksuckers.
Right.
Yeah. So I did reread this 2 weeks ago. The Evolutionary War.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they ever did this before, Jack. A cross annual event, was that ever done like that
Oh
before?
yeah.
Yeah.
They did that for a couple of years.
So
They did Atlantis Attacks, Evolutionary War.
Oh yeah, Atlantis
Um,
Attacks, right? Good call.
the there was one something Kings of Fear, something like that.
I'm just repositioning here. So the idea for chat, so you know what the fuck we're talking about. This series took place across all of the annuals. Every comic series will, especially with Marvel, will have once a year there'll be a supersized issue called an annual, and it's like a standalone story event. Sometimes is related to the main run storyline, sometimes not. Anyway, this storyline of the Evolutionary War ran across only annuals of a bunch of different series. This is the first one in the series from X Factor, which was X Factor was the original X-Men group: Iceman, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Beast, and
Cyclops.
And I said Cyclops first.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Did I? I don't remember. So 5 of them, and Iceman's not gay.
Oh, Angel.
Angel, thank you.
Is the one you didn't mention.
Thank you. And Iceman's straight as an arrow and a womanizer. It's all based around the main character you see here, High Evolutionary. Edgar Wyndham is his real name. He has a plot to genetically fuck with everybody on the planet, basically. He's going to evolve the entire species of humans and get rid of those who aren't up to his limits. Giant eugenics war basically starts. There's these subterranean creatures in this particular comic that are an offshoot of humanity, and the High Evolutionary's minions are going down there to destroy them, because before he can evolve all of humanity, he's got to get rid of, the High Evolutionaries, got to get rid of all of the people that aren't good enough in his book, thus the eugenics part of it. X Factor gets involved because, well, High Evolutionary's minions are down there murdering a whole bunch of people they view as subhuman, so they're superheroes and they get involved. So I thought I would show that one comic, and then number 2 in the series, The Punisher. It's annual. Has the next second part of the Evolutionary War storyline. Punisher gets involved because a whole bunch of minions show up of the High Evolutionary, and they're going to be stealing tech. I loved rereading this issue because one of the greatest artists from back in the day who never gets any cred, Mark Texiera, penciled this. He's a good artist. Just look at the penciling. See the face right here? We're talking about like not realistic faces. There's a realistic fucking facial expression. Mark Texiera is a unbelievable fucking artist, and nobody ever really talks about him, and I don't know why. He did a lot of Ghost Rider. He did a lot of Punisher, as you see. Anyway, great storyline. If you're a Punisher fan, this comic is worth reading on its own. It's Punisher facing off against High Evolutionary's minions as they attempt to steal genetics material and armor tech. It's available as a collected edition, The Evolutionary War. Absolutely worth reading as a ongoing continuous storyline that involves 12 of the most famous high-profile superheroes or superhero teams from the Marvel Universe at that time. What was that, Jack? I don't even know.
I want to say 87, but
87. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I first got it as the Web of Spider-Man annual when I was collecting the entire run of Web. That I grabbed that annual and I'm like, what is this Evolutionary War that's going on? And that was like issue number 7 of the Evolutionary War series. So it's worth reading. great overall storyline, fantastic. And Assassin of the Gray says I still have that Punisher. Yeah, fantastic comic, well worth the read. So that's my pitch, the Evolutionary War storyline. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's no the Morlocks. Yeah, well, maybe. I forget what their name is. It was like, are they? I can't remember. They're the Mole Mans. Remember the Mole Man from Fantastic Four? They're the Morlocks? Okay, yeah. They're the Mole Man's little buddies.
Led by Callisto. Don't die on us, Polly.
Well, I won't, not on the air. So that cough was a sign of, my throat's on fire. It's time for me to go get a drink of icy water and chill the fuck out. So, thank you very much for coming, everybody. Jack, quiz. It was a great show, considering how medicated and sick I am. Good fun. Thanks for being here as always. And thank you very much to Evolved Potato for posting our links throughout the episode. That's always appreciated, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So if you haven't already, on your way out, please hit that like button. I probably should have said that before now, but oh well. And if you want to support the show, Evolved Potatoes posting our links, but also just liking and sharing is greatly appreciated. More viewers, so more people can enjoy my confusing medicated ways when it happens. Any final thoughts, guys?
Go buy some comic books.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.